see here, got a nice coating of seasoning on them. It's the garlic and garlic powder and the Cajun spice. What we're going to do now is I'm going to readjust the camera here so you can see that I've pulled off a sheet of aluminum foil, and I'm going to show you how to do one or two of these, and then from there you can do whatever you have. I have this package of beautiful pork chops here, as well as, hang on a second, we got a second package of pork chops there on the stove. Like I said, these are in high demand when I make them. I don't know, maybe you have more going on, maybe you're a better cook than me, but hey, we'll learn this together, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition the camera here onto the table, and tripod, alright, we're going to set this down a little lower here, see if we can see what we need to see here. No, not yet. Okay, we've got our aluminum foil there on a 13x9 cookie sheet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here. Now, if you're going to let your family eat the vegetables out of your stock pot here, I would go ahead and say, hang on a second, we'll get a spoon here. Need a teaspoon for butter. Now, if you don't like butter, you don't have to use it. The steam from the vegetables will actually the water from the vegetables will actually steam through the pork chop. So you don't have to have the butter. I like butter, so I'm putting butter on it. My family likes butter, so I'm going to put butter in theirs. It is going to be kind of messy in the stove, so I will warn you. But let's see if I can find a teaspoon here. This is horrible. I really need to get a drawer divider here, because I have no idea where the teaspoon is. This is really unprofessional. I should have done this ahead of time. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. Instead of using a teaspoon, let's improvise. I'll only use half a tablespoon. How's that? This is my recipe. It's actually someone else's recipe. I'm sure it's been done time and time again. But, we'll move the chair out of the way there. But, I'm adapting it. It was actually done while I was camping by someone in my family. So you see here we've got a piece of the aluminum foil that's just larger than the cookie sheet. And we're going to put our pork chop dead center, right? And then what we do is, because we've used this hand to pick up that pork chop, we're going to use our other hand to pick up, I'd say, a handful of vegetables. And you just want to put it on top of there. Okay, you want a good mix of the different vegetables. You know, don't be stingy, because we've got this whole pot that's going to make up more. So maybe a second handful. Everybody loves these in my house. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law. I put people to sleep with these. They're awesome. The only people that was awake the day I made them for my in-laws was me and the dog. So, we take our half a tablespoon of butter, right? So we get us a half a tablespoon of butter. Alright, we use the finger here. We just put it up on top. Don't worry about the spoon. Just set the spoon aside for now. What we're going to do is we take both edges straight up. We bring them together. Match up the corners on your pouch. And you roll them. See what I'm doing? So we roll them that way. And then we envelope the sides and we roll it up. Try not to poke the bones, such as I've done here, through the side. If you do, you're like me, you've got cheap aluminum foil, and what you need to do there is to keep things inside, is to take a second piece of aluminum foil and just wrap it in. Okay, this is going to keep the heat inside. It's also going to keep your butter inside, so it's not all over the pan. We don't want everything all over the pan. And there we have this. So we set one on the side there, right? I have another cookie sheet sitting right over here. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and put that up there, and we'll throw out a second one. And then I'll do the rest of them, and I'll get back to you whenever we get the oven preheated. It does not matter shiny side up, shiny side down. You just want to make sure that you're not. So you take your pork chop and you just put it in the center. You don't want to cross-contaminate, because if your family's eating out of there and you're sticking the hand with your pork chop on there, you could make them really sick. Don't even take chances. So we take our vegetables, we throw them up on top there. Yes, it looks like a mess. If you can keep your kids from touching that raw meat, I would say the sky is the limit. So we put it up there. Like I said, we get our half a tablespoon of butter, right? Use the finger with the vegetable, not the finger that touched the pork chop. And we'll grab our sides, pick it up, we roll, tuck it down nice and tight. Check to make sure we have no bones poking through. And then this one is also good to go for the pan on the side over here. I can get between 6 and, well, that's about it, about 6 per pan. So one package is between 8 and 12 pork chops. So I might be able, you'll do this in batches if you've got a lot. But let's go ahead and let me get this finished, and I'll come back and show you putting it in the oven and setting it for 425 and setting it for the first half hour, because after that first half hour you want to turn it over. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be right back. Alright folks, here we are back again. Oh, sorry about the thumb. But here we are. We've got just a little bit of our vegetables left. And we always want to take a little bit of the vegetables and leave it alone. That way we always leave them wanting more. They taste those vegetables, and then we get on with what we got to do, right? We always want to leave them wanting more. Just messing with the zoom again here. This is what it looks like. I usually only get about 6 pork chops with the pouches and the vegetables and everything to a pan. What I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and adjust this camera again. And if you'll come with me, hello. We'll set the oven to 425 and we'll get things set up here. So let's come over to our timer. See if we can see it there. Alright, my stove is fairly easy. I just hit bake and it starts out at 350, but I want to go all the way to 4 1/4. This will preheat the oven and get everything going. We'll go ahead and start it, and I'll throw these in the oven. They'll just go, you just take them and put them straight in on the racks. It doesn't matter top or bottom, but you will be cooking them for half an hour on each side. So we want to make sure that everything is the way it should be. And the 2 spare that I have, what I'll do with those is I'll throw them in the fridge, and then once everything else is done cooking, once that first pan's done cooking, well, the 2 pans will be done cooking. What I'll do is I'll throw those in the oven just by themselves, not on that plastic pan. We'll reuse one of these 13 by 9 or 9 by 13 cookie sheets, baking sheets, whatever you want to call them. I know what my mom calls them, so that's what I call them. But let's go ahead and conclude for today. So what I've taught you today has been how to make, in my mind, one of my signature dishes, and that is pouch pork chops. If you have any comments, questions, go ahead and put it on the YouTube channel, or stop by nocturnalpodcast.com, or send me an email, feedback@nocturnalpodcast.com. And I'll be looking forward to what you have to say. Thanks for watching.